Sometimes entrepreneurship comes from a grand vision, or sometimes from unavoidable necessity. As part of our continuing series looking at the Smart 50 honorees for 2025, I had a great conversation with Jennifer Malcolm of Jennasis Associates, and where she actually had a little bit of both. Necessity created an opportunity to develop a great vision, and because she focused on people, and she created great success for herself and for her company. So please enjoy my conversation with Jennifer Malcolm. Welcome to Lay of the Land Weekly Impact. This is Jim Haviland, and we are doing our 2025 Smart 50 edition where I'm interviewing all of the Smart 50 honorees, and I'm here with Jennifer Malcolm. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Jim.
So I'm not meeting you today. We've had plenty of conversation, but I'm not surprised to see you here.
Oh, it's fun to see you. It's fun. Jim, you and I have had some really beautiful conversations over the last year, and it's just fun to be here with you today.
I appreciate that so much. So let's give everyone a bit of your story. So tell me how where you kind of came from and how you created the business that we're honoring today.
Sure. So I started Jennasis in 2011 as a product of divorce. I was a single mom, and it was the question of who do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want your life to look like? At that point, I had a 4, 6, and 7-year-old kids,
Wow.
and I wanted to be able to give them balance and still have mom around without trying to lessen the blow of divorce. And at that time, I had previously done, I was a high school science teacher out of college, but I had learned the art of virtual admin work. And so Genesis started in 2011 as a virtual admin firm in Cleveland, which was unheard of. It's now very first language. It was known in New York down to DC. It was known on the California coast, but Midwest did not know what a VA was.
It takes a minute.
It takes a minute for us to catch up.
To propagate across,
So it started there just to have supplemental money to raise my babies and to have work-life balance, and I could do it from home. And then within a few months, it was, hey, do you do websites? Do you do graphics? And I was like,
yes,
sure, we do. And I remember the first trifold I did to a partner, and they were like, this is it? And I was like, yeah. Like any other concept? And I was like, no, because I'm not a graphic designer. And so I learned the art of outsourcing and partnering and using other graphic designers and web designers to start marketing. And so it just morphed from marketing support to now we are your tactical marketing team, your outsourced team, which then turned into we don't agree with your list because there's better strategies. And so became a strategic partner and started fractional CMO work for organizations. And so down the rabbit hole we go.
Well, that is like one of the hard parts, right? Is you're going to be judged by the outcomes that you produce. And so if you don't have enough control, then you can't really promise outcomes. And so people are going to, they're going to fire you if you don't have outcomes, right?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
I'm guessing that's how it went down, right? But at the same time, you don't want to be everything to everybody. Right. So how do you niche down? How do you focus on something that you can really do well?
And that's what we've battled is are we the agency that can do everything for everyone, or how do we morph in and just really niche down? And so we've done our business plan over and over and over again. And, part of today is, realizing, you Google marketing agency, Northeast Ohio, there's probably 1,200 agencies that will pop up, solopreneurs and organizations. And so what we do is we continue to innovate and try to be ahead of the curve. AI, Canva, tools like that continue to squish into the marketing. And so what we've done is continue to evolve and become strategic voices within organizations. We still have that backflow of office that can handle your social media, build your website, run your campaigns, all of that. But we also have now a tenured group of leaders who are now strategic voices within an organization that can say, you want to get from here to there over the next 10 years. How do you do it? And so we are able now to be nimble and create what we call vision days for organizations to lay out that plan. And then my husband is a EOS integrator. And so he can come in and run the process and the teams if needed. I come in from the visionary and here's a big picture and opportunity. and it's a real well-oiled machine. The yin and the yang coming together, the
Right.
black and the white,
The VI pair, we
yeah, the
like to
VI
say,
pair. So,
right?
yeah.
Well, I know within the EOS world, we often talk about, the importance of having everyone taking, something to be accountable for things. And that's like always been my struggle with marketing firms is what are they accountable for? Turning the crank 50 times, or get generating a certain amount of activity, and then are they in charge of making it better? And then that sounds like what you've actually done
Yeah, and
is,
marketing is a mix of art and science. So
yeah.
the science is all the numbers, the data that we get that pull in. Did the campaign work? And we're looking at that to say we thought it would work, it didn't work. And the artistic part is using the intuition and the creative flair, and you marry those two things together. But there's also so many things you can't control. You can't control, a national crisis that interrupts your campaign that says it was going to work, and now all the media is
Whoops.
going, "Oops, it's all going over here," or
We can't
tariffs.
talk, can't use those words anymore. That's okay.
Tariffs or elections, or like, so what we've done is just we continue to be nimble. We are accountable for our work. We're proud of our work. We run the analytics to showcase the foundation, and we continue to be nimble and creative to continue to help that voice of organizations be heard.
The my favorite saying came from someone I worked with at 90. Said, "We're going to let data be our editor." Right. So which one's better? Let's let the data figure that
Let
out.
the
Yeah.
data figure it
Yeah.
out.
Very good. So what makes you unique? What brought you to Smart 50? What do you think, made you worthy of a Smart 50 award?
I think what makes us unique is that we have survived so much. I look back over 14 years. This was supposed to be an organization of one. This was supposed to just be me for me and the kids. And we have built it up where we've had 35 members on the team, and we've morphed it down, and we have employees now. So I feel like we are just nimble and able to adjust to the atmosphere. And it's exhausting. It is brutally exhausting to have to pivot. In
Right.
the other room, I was saying, if I could just make a pencil over and over and over again and just make the pencil for the next 50 years and it's sustainable, but this industry makes us be innovative. It forces us, or we'll die. Like, we will be
Right.
out of business. So the environment that we're in, and the pressure, the cooker, the environment of other agencies, saturation of agencies, AI, tools, freelancers, VA firms that are popping up. Like, we continue have to innovate and be grounded and say this is what we do and we do well, or otherwise we will die and be out of business.
Very good. What lessons have you learned? That you're aware of. What earned wisdom have you come upon as a leader?
Yeah, I think one of it, I had a coach, David Akers, 2012 to 2015, 16. And as a small business, he said, your business is going to exemplify all of Jennifer's, Malcolm's biggest strengths. And it will also exemplify all of your weaknesses. And
Right.
so to be able to take my personality out of the business and to then put structure and people around that and not make it Genesis as my Jennifer's personality, to have humility and to have awareness around where are my strengths and weaknesses, and I need to have people around those who are my weaknesses, and it will thrive on the strengths. But to really be to not have my ego say I can do all things and be all things to all people, and to bow and say, like, I don't have all the answers. And the other is to admit mistakes,
Yeah.
understand, have graciousness towards yourself. When we land something really big and someone ends up in the hospital and you lose that contract, or the environment change or tariffs or election, like, there's just this part of being in flow that I think we excel at. And it's can be exhausting, but it's also thriving, and it helps us be really different. That, yeah, you had a 12-month contract and 4 months in, something happened and we have to pivot, and we adjust and we are aware. And so I feel like we're an agency that really hears and really listens and really understands, and that, like, makes us unique, in my opinion.
Yeah. I love that. You know, Especially the part, I mean, I say it all the time that my favorite leaders are the ones that are particularly humble. The ones that, quite often it's because, not unlike you, they didn't plan to be a leader. And so they don't pretend. feel like they have to pretend they know what to do. And like I tell all my leaders, it's like, listen, it's nothing organic about becoming a leader of an organization that's this big or this big or this big. It's all cultivated, and and knowing that you have to cultivate it, that you have to stop doing some things and learn to do some new things is the key. But it sounds like you've done that though.
I'm trying, and there's some days that I'm like, "Oh, can I just give up leadership and go just be in a hut on a beach somewhere and sell hot dogs?" That would be easy street. And I also know that the world needs, leaders to have impact. And so some of the new work that we're creating is conscious leadership. And so, how do we impact a leader in consciousness and say, hey, this was your contract, but does it follow the four agreements? One of my favorite books.
Yeah,
Does it follow your
great one.
conscious? Does it follow your word? And to have conscious leadership versus contractual leadership
Yeah.
or obligation. And so it's going to be a small market. Hopefully it's bigger and it's growing, but with my hippy dippy work and my love for sustainability and meeting people where they're at is that we create a safe environment for people to express and share and then grow and thrive from that point of disappointment, pain, pivot, whatever that is. And I think that's something that we're really good at.
We in our coaching, we're always asking people to be just remain humble and vulnerable.
Yep.
You just got to sit in that like, oh, someone just said something and you didn't not lash back, but you've
Yep.
got to like, okay, hear it and acknowledge it, and wow, and just say it's really hard,
It is.
but that's how we grow. That's how we become
It
great
is.
leaders. Is I've had of all the interviews I've been doing for this particular set of segments, the thing that's most consistent is listening. People,
Yep.
have to be able to listen and be good at, not just listen like, okay, I heard you,
Yep.
I can write it down, like, but really listen, like,
Exactly.
the things that were said and things that are unsaid, and take it on board.
Exactly, and one of my biggest things over the last is to respond, not react. So
Yeah,
in an environment where I'm like, "Oh, I have immediate answers, I have an immediate thing to say," is to be quiet, be the one that's quiet in the room, be the one that's really listening, like you said, Jim, really pulling it in and having a conscious response versus a reactive response, and to say some of the emotions or the things passion that I felt here, yeah, maybe that's infused to my response, but it's more of a wisdom piece and a tenured piece versus a initial reaction.
yeah. I mean, the word I use a lot in my practice is intentional.
Mm.
And, if you want intentional results, you make intentional
Yeah,
decisions. And, the biggest destroyer of businesses is the unintended consequences.
100%.
So, but we could talk about that forever. But any other earned wisdom that you have to want to share that, uh, if the next Jennifer Malcolm's coming
Yeah,
along,
I would just say, like, so, for me, I turned 50 this year. Is just don't stop dreaming. Don't stop ideating. Like life, like I'm looking at the next 50 years of my chapter as I'm just starting again, brand new. And the first 50 years is a foundation of so many things I learned and being a mom, and now I'm an empty nester and 14 years in business. But is to never stop dreaming or giving up on yourself. And even the weirdness of, people call it midlife crisis, and I'm like, I don't think it's midlife crisis. I think we get a gift of time back that was occupied by our children
right?
or responsibilities. And
It's an
so that
opportunity for self awareness that you didn't have before.
exactly, and
Yeah.
so this dream of writing that book, starting a farm, doing something new, selling your business, or giving it to your or doing something with your employees is like to follow the dreams in your heart, because your life and your season, your song is not done yet.
All right. I love it. So, any mentors you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, I do. I have, David Akers, who is one of my favorite hardest coaches ever. Uh,
David's a good guy. I know him
Karen
well.
Hildebrand was one of my EO,
Sure.
A coaches, and friend mentor Dave Moore, my cosmic tribe, my sisters. I'm really grateful for my EO community, that has over the last 6 years given me mentors, accountability groups, opportunity for leadership that was kinda missing. I'm a leader within my business, but now I'm a leader within other organizations, and that feels really good.
It's like when I talk to second and third generation businesses, quite often, the people are taking it over. We want them to go work somewhere else
Yeah.
to come back. And it's like having like an EO experience. I've seen it where it's like, okay, oh, that gives me a whole new perspective on what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
And I also do a shout out to, Burton D. Morgan and the Edward Lowe Foundation. Those 2 foundations this year, which I didn't know much or anything about, have been really impactful because you said second stage entrepreneur, and that's
Yeah.
kind of the Edward Lowe Foundation's passion is that helping entrepreneurs when you're in that second stage of, "Alright, your business is good. Now what and
Now
next?"
what?
That they have a whole infrastructure. So that's a new mentor, but I'd like to do shout outs to them as well.
Oh, brilliant. Anything, and who do I have to thank for where you are today with the award? Who's,
Well, I Marsha is the one who writes my awards, and every year she's like, "Do you want me to submit?" I'm like, "Let's submit." So Marsha and Natalie from my team are huge. They're the backbone. My husband Chad gives me space to uh, fly and be free. My parents who are always there for me no matter what, when I fall down, when I get the awards, when I miss the awards, when I uh, accelerate and when I fail, they're always there. So those would be and my children, Camden, Paige, and Reagan. They're the loves of my life. So I think my team, my children, my husband, and my parents are the ones I want to shout out to.
all right, brilliant. Thanks so much, Jennifer. I appreciate the time today.
Thank you, Jim. It's really, really fun to be here with you today.